Like many of you, I'm really excited for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. My first competitive fighting game was actually Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Wow, he is hyped. He is jumping on the stage right now.
And this is baby Diaphone as first fighting game major, playing UMVC 3. But I'm even more excited that this game is developed by Arcsys. They've developed some of my favorite fighting games over the years: Granblue Fantasy Versus, Guilty Gear Strive, and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. And in the footage we've seen, it's very evident that Marvel Tokon takes inspiration from some of these previous games. And in this video, I want to show off some of the similarities between Marvel Tokon and previous Arcsys titles to kind of give you all some insight on how I think Marvel 4 will be played. In the most recent PlayStation blog post, they announced that Marvel Tokon will have either traditional fighting game inputs or simple inputs, something that's not really common in a lot of games. Street Fighter 6 has that in modern controls, but how I think this is going to be implemented is actually very similar to Granblue Fantasy Versus. Granblue has 3 attack buttons: light, medium, heavy, and you have 3 different versions of your specials, and you can do them with manual inputs. There's also a dedicated skill button, and if I just press neutral skill, I get the same move. And if I press medium and skill at the same time, I get the medium version of the skill. Heavy and skill, I get the heavy version. And you might be wondering, why don't you always use the skill button? You actually get more damage if you do the technical input. And I think this is a really good implementation. It lets new people get into the game easier by just having a 1-button skill. But for players that are better at the game or want to express their skill more, you can do the technical input and actually get an advantage out of it. And I really like this system because even at a high level, players are using both simple inputs and technical inputs, because sometimes you want the additional speed of a simple input, and sometimes you want to do the technical input to get the additional damage. And I hope that's how it is in Marvel Tokon. My other crackpot theory about Granblue is I think the control scheme for Granblue is going to be very similar to how the control scheme is in Marvel Tokon. And this is a shot in the dark, because there's 3 assists and there's 3 attack buttons. Pressing assist plus the attack button will correspond to the assist that you're trying to call. So if you want to call the assist in the first spot, assist plus light. Trying to call the assist in the third spot, assist plus heavy, just like you would with the skill button and the attack version you're going to do. That's a little bit of a stretch, but that's my theory. All right, so this is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. It's a 2v2 tag fighter that our system works made. And there's a few similarities I noticed between Marvel Tokon and this game. One being obviously the active switch. You basically call your partner, and at any time you could swap back to the new partner, and now the new partner's on screen. And we see that in Marvel Tokon. There's like this little like glowing soul that goes to your partner. Very similar idea. You can kind of switch in between the characters. And a hallmark of a really good BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, they're constantly switching, because it kind of maximizes like both of your characters, right?
25 feet. And now cross up, where are we gonna go? Great defense by Chopsui.
And so, for example, I could call Blake Assist, and then I can like do jabs, but there's some more layers. So for example, I could call the Blake Assist again. I could do my own move, active switch, and what side that I hit on, honestly, I'm not sure. And I think Marvel Tokon, you can see there's like a little bit of a delay between the switch and when this happens. So I think, thankfully, it's not gonna be degenerate as BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, because there was legitimately like 50-50 and the 50-50 complete bullshit situations you'd be put in. But active switch is really important because it lets you cycle your characters on screen and gives you more like mix-up opportunities, right? If you notice in the trailer, if you call your system neutral, there's not really like a delay. The assist just comes out. But if you're doing it in a combo, there's like this little bit of a freeze. This game has something pretty similar, because calling your assist neutral is considered to be like worse. There's actually a disadvantage to like calling assist while you're in the middle of something. You see this like blue bar at the bottom actually depleted because I used my assist in the middle of like a block string. And I suspect you have something going on here. Maybe it's like extended assist cooldown or something, but there's a very distinct visual difference between when you're doing it during a combo and when you're just calling your assist in the Marvel Tokon trailer. A couple other things, the movement may be pretty similar. You have your back dash, you have your forward dash, and you have an air dash. There's probably going to be like special characters, like Merkava, for example. He has a air dash, but it's like a glide, and he can do like different things out of the glide. And he also has this double jump hover that's like unique to him, and he can do like some really cool movement options. Wouldn't surprise me if Marvel Tokon was pretty similar, depending on like the type of character. EX moves too, again, this is speculation, but how EX moves are implemented in this game, you have like a meter, and this meter goes down by 1 if you do an EX move. Basically, any of these moves that are enhanced and you turn blue, and these are basically better versions of your normal moves, right? And I think the enhanced moves in Marvel Tokon are like when the character glows yellow, but there's also supers. In the Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, they actually use the same meter. It's just supers are more expensive, right? So this super costs 2 meters instead of 1. That makes sense because generally they're stronger than just EX moves, right? So for example, I could do like stuff like super into super, and then, oh, by the way, this is plus on block. So it makes sense that, you know, supers are more expensive. But I suspect this game's not going to play as much like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is known for like being a really degenerate game where you get the hit and you can kind of steamroll off the hit, where there seems to be mechanics in Marvel Tokon, like the wall breaks, for example, that kind of enable less steamrolly play.
Does a massive amount of damage on both to Hakumen and now on the Merkaba.
The other thing, I suspect the tech options are really similar to BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. So the way it works is anytime you get knocked down, you have an option of back teching, neutral teching, or forward teching. And this makes things really tricky because like if I think they're gonna forward tech and then I just go the wrong way, they get out, right? So yeah, I think it's a pretty good mechanic. Now, I want to talk about the most obvious thing from Marvel Tokon that's inspired by Guilty Gear Strive, which is the wall break system. So wall breaks are interesting because I can actually hit you in the corner and the wall doesn't break. But you can see like as I hit them more, you can see like the wall start to shatter. And then eventually, if I hit them one more time, the wall breaks, it does like an extra chunk of damage, but we're reset to neutral. And this was a really controversial mechanic at first. People were like, oh, Guilty Gear is all about mix-up and I'm losing my mix-up. But there's actually like a few pretty cool nuances to it too. One, you can kind of like drop your combo early to like get the reset and you do good mix-up. And then, you know, based on their health, you have to make a decision whether to break the wall early or later. I could choose to spend the super. The super does extra damage. And then after the super, I can actually run up and get like a, you know, just like a decent strike throw mix-up or some other type of mix-up, right? So if you use the resources to like actually land your mix-up, you're not going to have them to do super, and therefore there's a lot of cool decision making to be made about how you spend your resources. The interesting thing is in the Marvel Tokon trailer, the wall broke right away. And so that could mean many different things. Maybe if you call assist, the wall breaks earlier, if you like use up a certain number of like moves, like if you OTG and you do other stuff, then the wall breaks faster. I have no clue. It's obviously very inspired by Guilty Gear Strive. And you might be wondering, Guilty Gear Strive also has this 3v3 mode. No one really asked for it, and then it died like right away. Why did Arcsys make a 3v3 mode for seemingly no reason? Was probably to practice something or to test implementation for Marvel Tokon. But if you've seen 3v3 mode, it doesn't really play like Marvel Tokon. There's like these different spells you can cast, and there's 3 participants, and you swap in the participants in and out. Woo, that's clean, that's clean, that's clean. What's got me thinking, this is a 4v4 game. 2xKO can have 4 people at once in the game. The main change between this and like something like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle that I think they're testing is you were able to have 6 people in the game. 1 person controlling every character. So my crackpot theory is the only reason they did this was to test out the functionality for Marvel Tokon. We'll see. Maybe that's a little hopium on my end. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know what you guys think about the rest of the video. I'm super hyped for this game. You know, making a video like this talking about old Arcsys games and how they apply to this. You know I'm excited. If you want to see more Marvel Tokon content on the channel, let me know down in the comments below. Like, just subscribe, and peace.